I'd like to take a look at slavery in the Bible and at a concept of heaven in kind of a connected way. The first part about slavery in the Bible, and then part 2 in heaven. Slavery in the Bible, and please stay with me on this one. It'll take a little bit to set it up. There are systems in the Bible that God has given us to help us understand who He is. One of them, I do believe, is fatherhood. He created man and woman, fathers and mothers, and gave them different skill sets, intending that they would combine their skill sets in raising children. A daughter learns what to expect from a spouse and gets her self-esteem from her father.
Hey, Belle, you look happy. Why are you happy?
Because Daddy said I'm pretty.
Really?
That's not what I just said.
He actually said I'm pretty annoying, but I only focus on the positive.
Yeah, well, some of that. Fathers teach their sons how to treat women as the sons watch the father interact with the son's mother. Fathers teach discipline. Fathers teach persistence. Fathers teach the value of work, of taking responsibility. What is called the Lord's Prayer begins, "Our Father who art in heaven." God has given that example of fatherhood to help us understand our relationship with Him. So consider slavery in the Bible without going into the cultural issues, the economic times, the part that slavery played in that culture as opposed to what slavery is in this culture. Without going into that, slavery was a part of the Old Testament and the New Testament culture. The point of slavery or servanthood in the Bible in those economic times is not its existence or its acceptance, but it is always the relationship between slaves and masters. Mutual respect, understanding that we are all subject to a higher master. There is a condition in the Bible called bond servanthood. When a servant serves a master who has been respectful of the servant, caring for the needs of the servant generously, when the relationship has become more than just servant-master, but actually a relationship of friendship, the servant can come to the master and say, "I don't want this to end. I want to be your servant my whole life." And then there's a ceremony that acknowledges that servant as a bond servant, a servant for life. The Apostle Paul names himself as a bondservant of Jesus Christ. That is, he has chosen to follow Jesus as Jesus' servant for his whole life. So just as fatherhood is given to us as an example of how we can expect our relationship to be with God and how it should be with God, so bond servanthood is given to us as an example of how our relationship should be to Jesus. He has bought us with His blood, and His desire is for us to come to Him and ask to be bondservants to Him. It is an example of the relationship that we are to have with Jesus. And I don't know, maybe God left servanthood in the Bible for us to understand that. It's a thought.